It's great to be here and have the chance to tell you about a project which, from the very first beginning I've heard about, is literally fantastic. It all began 2 years ago when one of my fellows, who is living right in the center of Hamburg, St. Pauli, had a decisive idea. Every day, every morning, when he's sitting at the table of his apartment, he's having a view like this. So what you see here is the last of 4 World War II overhead bunkers of this enormous size. This anti-aircraft bunker, 39 meters high and covering an area about 75 by 75 meters, was built in 1942 in as little as 300 days. Hard to imagine what this must have meant to the 1,000 forced laborers who built it in the 300 days. Originally erected to provide shelter for more than for 18,000 people, it often protected more than 25,000 people from the air raids. There were 20 small and 4 large anti-aircraft guns on the roof, operated by locals, and at the end of the war even whole school classes from the quarter. Unlike the urban desert and its surrounding, the bunker itself has never seriously been hit. So today it's still there, undestroyable, with its roof made of 5 meters armored concrete, and reminds us of this dark chapter of the history. In the inside, hidden behind almost 2-meter thick walls, it now has been home to a multifaceted cultural use. You will find there inside a radio station, for example, or schools and different companies from the music and media sector. This bunker is an impressive building. Once you've been touched by this place, even more if you see it every morning like this, it's quite understandable that it starts working in your head. So one day, having a dinner with friends, the idea was born: what if the roof of this colossal bunker could be open to the public, with a park space and community gardens on top of it? 1 year later, after countless discussions with friends, a team of architects, the owner of the bunker, and a first contact to the municipal authority, there was a vision. We named it Hilldegarden, a green hill-like rooftop garden which is designed and organized in a participative process as a pilot for a new kind of urban nature above the city and open to the public without any cost and completely financed by the private owner. Yeah, the idea for the building and our plans for the building is a 5.5 meter wide and 300 meter long uprising green ramp that leads from the street level up to the roof and makes it accessible to the public for the first time. Then passing a balcony-like area called Kragen with about 1,800 square meters space for all facets of gardening. Then it reaches the roof of the bunker, the new level 0, with a small amphitheater in one of the old gun turrets. You see it over there. And this place especially is the main evacuation area, so it has to be kept free. But it's a perfect place, for example, for street art activities. We are also in contact with some artists who had interest and finally, just like a mountain trail, a small ramp is going up to the main park area on the new rooftop. It's a space of about 1,500 square meters. For all purposes, I will tell you 2 ideas for that later more. And if you stand there, it's about 58 meters above street level. In addition to the outside spaces, 7,500 square meters. There are inside the green hill about 8,000 square meters inside space. The main part of this inside space is planned to be rented by the owner to refinance the investment and the maintenance of the project. As I told before, he said, okay, I will finance the whole project. 500 square meters of this inside space is also given to Hilldegarden for a rent-free public use as well. To fill the Hilldegarden vision with ideas that represent the wishes and the needs of the residents of the neighboring quarters who will be there in future, the small group of initiators started the participative part of the project. After introducing the main concept in the quarters, we organized several public ideation workshops. As a consequence of these workshops, 5 work groups were constituted, which started to develop a concept from different point of views. The first group, for example, thought about our goals, the process of participation, and how to assure the cost-free use of the public spaces. The second one, and here you have another view from above, started to collect ideas for the park areas and different kinds of gardens and a lot more. They had to answer questions. This question we heard a lot, and it was also a question we had on our own, how to protect the trees against the wind, for example, in this direction when the storm is coming from the North Sea. So are the trees after it still there? So we had been in close contact to different specialists in gardening, landscaping, and others. In this area, for example, der Kragen, we are planning at this site, for example, a school garden for teaching children or also adults. So the group of 20 people collected ideas and asked other people when we made workshops on an end. And so now the plan is that there's going to be a Japanese meditation garden, and at the other side, the part is for more ambitious community gardening. If you have learned a lot, you know what you're doing, so that's the space where you can start gardening. Another group thought about the public inside spaces. They developed ideas like a public cooking studio where you can cook the products, for example, you grow on the Kragen, and even more. A garden library, a memorial. This in particular has been the big issue of the memorial group. They are trying to work up the history of the bunker. The group has been also in contact with several historical institutions and archives and searched for contemporary witnesses. Last but not least, we are having a work group, which thinks about all circular flows, local energy production and cradle-to-cradle issues for the building part. For example, at this part, we're going to have a compost heating, where you collect the heat from the composting process to use it for heating up water or a room, for example. Of course, these concepts are not high efficient to heat the whole bunker with it, but we want Hilldegarden to be a labor for learning, prototyping and reproducing some such kinds of energy. Meanwhile, Hilldegarden has grown up to a group of more than 50 people. In October, we founded an association and finalized, after 10 months of work, 9 presentations and 6 workshops, concepts, very big concept for the architects and the owner. And we handed it out to the owner 3 weeks ago. And so now we are waiting for the building permit. Sadly, it's about 144 pages with ideas, so it took another 2 hours probably to tell you about these ideas. There you see going up the the ramp like some kind of a park bend, green park bend, up to the roof. I personally see Hilldegarden as a prototype for new ways to integrate nature to the urban landscape. For decades, urban landscapes have been growing faster and faster. And as main consumers of resources, they now provide a giant challenge for our all future. How can they be provided all year round with clean drinking water, healthy food products, and sustainable energy, without increasing their ecological footprint and in particular their greenhouse emissions? More and more people become aware of this challenge and try to find new approaches in the coexistence of nature and the urban human habitat. More and more grassroots movements, from urban gardening to transition town initiatives, are searching for new ways of local and sustainable production of food, energy, and all the other stuff. Imagine, there were rooftop gardens all over the city, merged to a new landscape above the city, with a stunning foresight at its best, like you have it in a real landscape, and with a lot of space for many resources we will need in the future. So, thank you very much. Let's grow together.